に合わせて叫べ勝利の雄たけびを秘密展開ゴーレム忍者
Chapter 20, The Change Predator. Author's note: the reason why Andros was selected for this chapter was because I felt like Power Rangers in Space was inspired by Changeman, although it was nowhere near as dark. It's pretty much a shout out to Power Rangers here. At the new Skybase, Andros can finally be seen getting his merits for being another Red Ranger for field missions. He was Andros from Power Rangers in Space, the first alien to lead a group of Earthlings in battle against the Dark Specter's empire. What the? Me for the next mission? I've just arrived in this place, asked Andros. That's right. You did, after all, lead your group from the original incarnation of the United Alliance of Evil. You will get to lead for the next mission. You'll soon be introduced to the others, and we'll have a lot of seminars and workshops so we can all get along with each other. Tommy and Kimberly are starting to get to the workshops, said Supreme Commander Ryu. He was now introduced to the platoon he'll lead once they've confirmed that the United Alliance of Evil has been found in the Sentai year 1985. They are Masumi, Rocky, Sai, and Sakura who did their salute. It would be nice to work with you guys to defeat the latest incarnation of the United Alliance of Evil. I fear they will be definitely deadlier than the one we first faced, said Andros. Nice to work with you, Andros, said Masumi. We just can't afford to be lax, though. The United Alliance of Evil is getting smarter with its new leader. In fact, everybody's training really hard, said Rocky. I have to admit that it's more than a tiger's job, said Sai Taigia. Well, I think it's a job for a bad boy like me, said Masumi. Sakura prepared her rifle if she needed it. We've got to take a shower first, said Sakura. Sakura was taking a hot shower where she was hoping to de-stress herself. All of a sudden, a barge entered. Worse, she forgot to lock the door of her unit and an intrusion came. Who's entering? Asked Sakura, nervous. The door was open and it happened to be Cole who was the person to open it by mistake. He had a towel wrapped around his waist while his eyes were having eye bags from his frequent trainings, indicating he wasn't at sound mind for the moment. As Cole opened it, Sakura was just inside it. Yikes, said Cole as he saw Sakura in her embarrassed moments. Cole, what are you doing? Don't you ever bother to read the signs? Said Sakura angrily, fuming at Cole for the incident. Whoops, said Cole with his face all red. Get out, said Sakura angrily. Okay, sorry, Sakura, said Cole as he got out. Sakura was pretty embarrassed from that scene. It's okay, said Sakura, who was still tense after the incident. Sakura met to meet up with the others for the mission, all freshened up. Masumi then approached her. You look like you saw a ghost, said Masumi, noticing Sakura's pale face. I did, said Sakura, but she didn't want to tell anybody of the incident that happened in the shower room with Cole. Let's go, guys, said Andros. This girl's too tough, though. Much tougher than Cassie Chan. I wonder how she is, said Andros. To Sakura, she still felt her incident was too humiliating. Well, at least Cole didn't take advantage of me and all. He's a gentleman behind all that layers of muscle, said Sakura. Meanwhile, at the Sentai year 1985, the Changeman era, we can see Trakina and Umbrella are sent for the mission and communicating with their emperor. I do hope you can start to release the new alien you found. Tao Zanto tested its ability for combat. It was fun testing it on some prisoners. Now it'll be fun to test it against the Changemen to get rid of them, said Radiguet via communicator. Just then, Florius can be seen full of scratches all over the monitor. He can be seen pleading for mercy before Radiguet. I can't believe how heartless you can be. You just can't recognize real skill and talent in battle, said Florius. What do you expect, Charity? Get back to work, you incompetent villain. Besides, you're just another pushover whose only purpose is to serve as my court jester. Don't expect anything from me, Florius, especially you destroy the Jarumozo yourself, said Radiguet, who then fired blasts at Florius in extremely cold blood. The Gormza will pay a good price for the hunter. It will make a swell profit to support our united alliance of evil. As said, I was able to use such a species to screw up several planets, but it was a hard catch, though, said Umbrella. Umbrella, enough. Just focus on the mission or I will clip your wings off. Trakina, Well, carry on the job of doing so, said Radiguet. I didn't have you carry on this mission if you were no evil queen. In fact, there's one evil queen you'd like to meet here too. However, be aware that I do not tolerate failure. Signing out. Yes, sir, said Drakina and Umbrella. Behind them were some Igoroids and Stingers already deployed for battle. The Changemen are at their secret EDS base, noticing that portals have opened in 2 different places. The Changemen are Hiryo Tsugi, Sho Hayate, Yuma Ozara, Saya, and Mai Tsubasa. We have to investigate further. This may be a threat that's worse than Gorzma. It is at this point, said Commander Ibuki. We may have to deal with the situation with the use of subtle tactics first, as this new force could be more powerful than Gorzma. But 2? Maybe opposing forces are coming to destroy Earth, said Sayaka. Then I agree we check it out, but cautiously. The enemy could be having its subtle attacks right now, said Hiru. Perhaps a piece-by-piece investigation will work. I do suspect Imes could be getting new allies. We know she's the biggest threat Bazo has sent so far, even worse than Gyulki, said Mai. We can't ignore that possibility. Ever since she arrived, our lives are becoming horribly awful. If she has new allies to help her, we're done for, said Hiru. Then you go forward and investigate further, said Commander Ibuki. Yes, sir, said the Changeman. At the Gorzma space pod, Bazo began communicating with his troops. Fools, we cannot just easily let this new threat of invaders from another dimension stop us from conquering Earth, said Bazo in anger. Then we will stop them at all costs, said Gil. Sire, leave this task to me, said Imes. Remember, Imes, I will destroy your planet of Amazo if you fail, said Bazo. Just as they were speaking, Trakina and Umbrella had teleported into the ship carrying the Xenomorph Queen. What the? Isn't that a Xenomorph Queen? It is a very vicious and poisonous creature, said Imes. Yes, it is. It's a vicious predator that should help you get rid of the Changemen, said Trakina. How much do you want for it, said Guile in a gruff voice. Well, 3 crates of diamonds and a crate of emeralds for the price of that monster we sent, said Umbrella. Isn't that too much, said Shima. That would be no problem, said Buma, who got what he plundered. This is scaring me, said Gator, who suddenly fainted from the stench. That should be no problem. Such a magnificent creature is worth the price. If it causes much pain to the humans, I'd love to see it, said Imes. Meanwhile, we can see 2 individuals from the Power Rangers universe. A good-looking white guy and an average-looking Chinese guy. They are Leo Corbett and Kai Chen. They had fallen after their space voyages. They were colleagues with Jason in the space station. Kai, this is all too weird to me, especially everything we speak now in Japanese, a language you never learned, said Leo. I agree, said Kai Chen. We crossed across not only in time, but also in dimension. Maybe that's why Jason Lee's scout went missing for weeks. In fact, nobody can find him after he's disappeared into thin air, but I believe we'll run into him somehow. By the way, I did get reports that even a famous pop singer, Kimberly Hart, and photojournalist Trini Kwan has gone missing too. It's all too much for me to handle now that we're missing, said Kai Chen. Just then some Gorma forces, namely Hildres, began to surround them. They were also accompanied by Igoroids and Stingers. I wonder what kind of enemies are those? Well, it's no surprise this is happening, said Leo, referring to the Hydra and Igoroids. Regardless, we must dispose of them. I just hope that this world has its own set of Power Rangers to defend it, said Kai Chen. Andros and his team were scouting the area and found them. Leo? Kai? They're here too, said Andros. Now it looks like there's an additional reinforcement after all. They're your friends, then we must help them, said Masumi. Andros led his team to morph. Now we have Red Space Ranger, Boken Black, Zero Ranger 3, Gao Right, and Boken Pink to battle.
Red! Hayaki Boken-san! Boken Black! Here!
ウルラシノベッコガンホワイト深き冒険者冒険ピンク
Andros has new friends, said Leo. Red Space Ranger led his team to knock down the Hydrids. They began cutting the tubes off the Hydrids, deflating them one by one. Both Leo and Kai Chen also morphed to help in battle as Red Galaxy Ranger and Blue Galaxy Ranger. Andros, said Leo. Yes, it's me. We're now in a strange new world. I've got new friends too. They're not Power Rangers here. They're Super Sentai. Super Sentai? Asked Kai Chen, confused. It's a long story. I believe that the holes were caused by the new version of the United Alliance of Evil. Bad news is Trakina is still alive. Once a villain dies, there's no hope of any redemption, even if they're back alive, said Andros. What a long story, said Leo. Regardless, we'll have to kill them all as many times as possible. Meanwhile, the Changemen suddenly ran into them, the coordinates of the portal. Looks like they're just average humans, said Hiru. We can't be too sure about that, said Mai. One thing's for sure, that girl in pink is hot, said Sho, referring to Sakura. He tried to get her, but to no success. He went near Sakura, but only for Sakura to slap him in the face and threw the flowers in his face. Well, you're not my type, said Sakura, remembering the time she had turned down Masumi's courtship of her way back. Oh, what a waste. I can't get that hot chick, said Sho, frustrated. Well, we're from the future, and here to assist you in your fight against enemies from the future who came here to help Gorzma, said Andros. That sounds preposterous, said Yuma in a skeptical manner. Oh, you don't believe me then, said Rocky, who suddenly teleported them to the Space Guard time train. As they were trying to get to know each other, the United Alliance of Evil was prepared with the Xenomorph Queen to lay her eggs by the water station. There will soon be plenty. I think it will do marvelous stuff once it hatches, said Imes. Later, they are seen spraying deadly mists on people. Guile and Imes were impressed by it. Just then, Andros and his team, together with Leo Corbett and Kai Chen, entered into the scene. Trakina, how did you survive? Said Leo in shock. I am back for the third time, brought back by Emperor Radiguet, Lord of Time and Space, said Trakina. And the villains here I have teamed up with are more vicious. Trakina-sama, now is the time to test the power of the Xenomorph Queen, said Umbrella. I couldn't agree any more, said Trakina. Now it's time to test the creature's might against my hated enemies. The Changemen did their morphs together with Andros' team and Leo Corbett and Kai Chen. Now, show us what you can do, Ariana, the name of the Xenomorph Queen. Destroy those two meddlers once and for all, said Umbrella. Aria jumped into the air with a vicious accuracy. Her claws were vicious. She also displayed her massive scorpion-like tail that contained deadly venom. Talk about deadly, we haven't seen such a monster or seen such evil so far, said Red Galaxy Ranger. This monster has incredible accuracy, said Blue Galaxy Ranger, as he was also hurt, but he was able to dodge the attack. The Changemen tried to attack, but it was too fast. They were beaten severely. We don't stand a chance against that creature, said Change Mermaid. We need a different strategy to defeat it, said Change Dragon. Just think, right now, every human in the city is carrying some of its eggs. The eggs will soon hatch into deadly maggots, and not only that, the whole city will be dead, said Guile. I would love to record their suffering for my personal collection. I just so love the sight of blood, said Imes. Blue Galaxy Ranger grew extremely mad with fury that he ended up releasing some water as a result of his elemental powers. Enough! Enough! Said Blue Galaxy Ranger. Suddenly, the monster Aria was weakened, forcing the enemy to retreat. Curses, said Imes. Looks like we'll have to retreat. I hate it when something gets in the way of my sadistic pleasure. I agree with you, said Guile. What's this? The monster is suddenly hurt, said Red Galaxy Ranger. Good job, Kai. He was just out of rage, said Blue Galaxy Ranger. The Changemen powered down. They decided to take the heroes to their base with the approval of Commander Ibuki. I see that the people from the future are trying to alter the timeline, said Commander Ibuki. That's right, and we are here to stop them from destroying every Super Sentai force in history before they destroy the future, said Sakura. It sounds stupid, but true. We're not from this time, said Sai Taigia. Oh, that's funny, said Yuma Orza. Don't make me laugh. They demonstrated the ability of the Search Guard time train to be anywhere, anytime, without destroying anything as long as it didn't materialize to solid phase, and that anybody who entered into it in that phase were there as if it were solid. This is amazing, said Commander Ibuki. It's just not very easy to believe, said Hiru. At the new skybase in the Sentai year 2011, Supreme Commander Ryu got a call. What? You found 2 more Power Rangers? Very well then, I believe it's best to send them back here for now. They have nowhere to go, and plus we do need all the help we can get, because sooner or later, the United Alliance of Evil will increase its efforts, said Supreme Commander Ryu. Maybe, but we do have a situation here. A dangerous alien has hatched, and many people are being hit by a high fever. The eggs are being incubated inside their bodies, said Andros. That's terrible. Then send some of the eggs to the laboratory for examination. Let Leo Corbett and Kai Chen send them in, said Supreme Commander Ryu. Leo Corbett and Kai Chen were sent to the Sentai year 2011 to bring some of the eggs that they were able to capture to find any weaknesses they could. They are now in the new skybase. What the? This is like TerraVenture, said Leo. Let's waste no time, said Kai Chen.